What about a bit of a psychological edge getting started? Make a lot of noise.
Can do.
So as the diggers plan psychological warfare, the beach bum's captain and expert are oblivious, too busy admiring a microlight wing.
I mean, some good bits of tubing. There's some good bits of tubing here. How are we looking, mate?
Yeah, good.
Meanwhile, on the heap, scavenging jokers Gilly and Simon have stumbled across a possible ace card.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Finding an engine with a propeller attached is a masterstroke, but if they turn it, the engine could fire up, transforming those propeller blades into a finger shredder.
Yeah, we've just found a motor with a prop attached to it, mate. So,
Don't turn the prop, Gil.
Tell him we've turned the prop.
We've turned the prop. Only joking, mate. We'll be right back.
Excellent.
Morning, beach bums.
Morning, Lisa.
Morning.
Nice to have you back on the heap.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks
it's
for
great to
having
be
us.
back.
This is, well, it looks like a microlight engine.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to us, but we've
Yeah.
been wrong before.
Doesn't look that powerful. Is that going to be a problem?
As long as we keep the weight down, and we're going for mega lightweight. Our expert, Jeremy, he's obsessed with weight, so...
Is he? And how are you constructing the body of your fan boat?
He's going for like a type of catamaran design, so we're going to have 2 hulls, framework, obviously with this attached to it, with the prop coming out of the back, and somewhere in it all is going to be a deck chair.
You're going to have a deck chair.
Because we are the beach bums.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
See you later, Lisa.
And having an engine with a prop attached could save those beach bums hours of construction. That is, of course, if the engine is a runner.
Never raced or rallied.
Oh, you have redeemed yourself, Simon.
What a little beauty.
That is absolutely fantastic.
Back on the heap, and diggers scavengers Alistair and John have been trying, without success, to get the fragile roof off their white van.
Don't break it, wait for me.
That's a hole.
That's bad, that. We're cracking it, I know.
Frustrated, Alistair goes for the heavy-handed approach.
What was that? Big
the roof
crack.
cracking.
They could end up with the leakiest hull in Scrapheap history.
It's not going to come off forcing, it's going to end up with cracks all over.
I know.
And in the build area, this psychological warfare Captain Paul and expert Tony had planned isn't exactly firing on all cylinders.
No, not a lot.
Morning,
Looking
diggers.
water in there.
Hi there.
How are you doing?
Fine.
Rather good-looking bike.
Yeah. Not very good if it doesn't run.
Have you not had it running yet?
No.
So fingers crossed. Do you think it's going to be a nice meaty
It
roar?
will be, yeah, looking at this exhaust, it's going to make a nice, dirty, horrible noise.
Loud noise, yeah.
Whereabouts is the engine going to go in relation to your whole airboat?
The engine's going to be here, and we're going to drive a large belt to drive the fan up here, and then with the driver at the front, that should
Hopefully
balance that will balance everything out.
Well, very best of luck. I mean, it is quite a big build today. Do you think it's more difficult than the last build you did, giant trikes?
There's not as much engineering in it, but it's more precise. We've not got a lot of room for mistakes in the drive and the fan positioning.
So you need to really have your wits about you.
Yeah.
Well, very best of luck, diggers. I'll come and see how you're getting on later.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See you.
Teams, your attention, please. You now have only 7 hours of maritime manufacturing left today.
Crack on, I think. Things to do.
With scavengers Alistair and John battling with their van roof, Captain Paul and expert Tony struggling with the engine. Things are looking desperate for the diggers, as both components are vital to their build. But it's a much happier story for Torquay surfers the beach bums, as they found 2 items they're not totally unfamiliar with.
What about that, then?
We ain't got time for windsurfing now.
These 2 windsurfing boards could make ideal holes for their 2-stroke engine and prop.
Look at that, guys. Fit in a bung.
You've finished. You've done it.
Oh, yeah,
You're more or
yeah,
less
we-
done.
Don't hang around here.
No,
Yeah.
look at that. What a find.
That's about 40 horsepower.
Wow.
All we got to do is build the rest of it as light now.
Yes. So what you've got, and you've got the surfboards out there.
That's going to be the floats.
That's your float. So you're on surfboards.
yeah, don't call them beach bums for nothing.
Yeah.
So-
Well, it's home from us,
Well,
isn't
it's
it?
fine, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what you've got to build then is some sort of framework that holds that up in the air and keeps them.
A lot of framing to hold that up and keep it stable and safe. There's one key frame that we thought we'd mark out on the floor till we get that right, and then we can measure everything else off that.
The beach bums plan to construct 2 A-frames to support the engine. It's this engine support they then plan to attach to their 2 surfboards. But the height of this is going to be vital. Too tall and the craft will be unstable, too short and there'll be nowhere to put the driver.
But it's going to be quite top heavy, though, isn't it? I mean,
Very.
as a floating
We're going to try and sit as low as we possibly can to counteract that, but it is going to be top-heavy.
Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this on the water. All right, I'll see you later on.
Thanks, Robert.
As the beach bums contemplate the fact their machine may be unstable, they seem to have forgotten all about testing their engine. But they're about to get a gentle reminder from next door.
Is that a motor started there, is it?
Yeah, it's a motorcycle earlier. They don't blow it up yet.
Sorted. Great stuff. We're in.
Yes!
So as the diggers psych out the beach bums, let's see what this week's judge thinks.
Get 'em.
With no airboats in this country, we've spared no expense, flying in a man who has over 20 years' experience of building and driving airboats across the plains of Louisiana, US of A. It's Mark Robigeau.
Thanks for coming over to see us, though. That's very good of you, because we are a little bit in the dark here, because we just do not have airboats in this country. We don't really know what they are. So can you fill us in a bit on what we're looking at here?
Basically, you have an engine with a propeller, pushing air. You have a set of rudders on the back that's actually used to control them.
And I've got no idea what kind of speed they can achieve then.
Top speeds in deep water is 45 to 55 miles an hour. You get in shallow water, you'll pick up at least 5 to 10 miles an hour in shallower water.
The thing that the two teams have come up with, which is very different, is hull design. I mean, we've got one that seems to resemble what I think of as an airboat, which is a big flat-bottomed hull.
Yes, a digger's design is more of a full hull design. It's a good idea, providing they have enough horsepower to overcome the weight of this, but it should float a little bit easier.
The beach bums have gone for a sort of couple of surfboards.
They're beach bums.
Yeah, no, it's very suitable for them. But I mean, has anybody ever made like a catamaran airboat?
I can't say that I have, but it is definitely a neat idea. If it's kept light enough where it's actually sitting on top of the water, more like a mosquito, it'll be easier to get moving.
I think the interesting thing, of course, is the beach bums find of the microlight engine.
That was very fortunate for them to find that whole package ready to go. So the diggers have a lot of catching up to do.
And have you got a favourite design yet?
When I saw the design of the beach bums, I really didn't think it stood a chance. But after seeing what they've come up with and having this lucky find, I'm thinking the beach bums idea might be a step ahead.
Put it down, 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 down. That's it, stay there for
In
a
the
sec.
beach bums build area, they've already started building their rear frame, even though they haven't yet tested their engine. But Jeremy is more concerned about its height.
Could be a bit lower, I suppose, couldn't it? We've done it now.
Now's the time to change it, mate.
I mean, I think we can usefully drop that foot, get the centre of gravity down a bit.
Yep.
And have...
Lowering such a lightweight engine really shouldn't be a problem. But for one chilled-out surfer from Devon,
OK, Alf, you got it, mate?
Yeah.
it becomes an almighty strain.
All right. OK. Well, let's squeeze in. Right, nearly there, mate. Don't worry, Alf.
Nearly there, ain't doing it for me.
Just going to cut the tips off the thingy. You right down there, Alf?
No! Hang on. Where do you want us then, lads?
Back on the heap, and the diggers are raising the roof. With Captain Paul and expert Tony helping out, it's not long before it's back to their build area.
It's not that heavy, it's steel on, is it? Well,
Right, come across to me. Right, we've got any tyres?
A swift turn makes it an airboat hull.
So as the diggers get serious about embarking on an almighty build, the beach bums work rate descends into a farce.
Are you doing nothing?
No, I'm doing nothing.
This is what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Captain. I've got nothing to do at the moment, sir.
Captain, one job, Captain, cover.
But Captain Andy eventually finds Simon a very important job.
How you getting on with that, Gil? Yeah, good. You all right, mate? Yeah.
Those beach bums, you know, they're not bothered. They're not stressed at all. They've got a microlight engine and propeller.
It's so in keeping, isn't it? They've got a deck chair. They're planning on having a deck chair they're going to sit on surfboards.
Yeah, they are very excited about what they've got there. They're two wobbly surfboards with a huge engine mounted really high above them.
Yeah. Diggers are playing a
Oh, really?
completely
Are they?
different game. Psychological combat. Meant to see them like, yeah, we've got a big motorbike engine. When we get this revved up, they're going to freak out next door. They want to win.
They do want to win, don't they? Yeah.
But if the diggers really want to win, they'll need to get a move on. So Captain Paul cracks the whip.
We'll concentrate on the back on the framework. If you two can concentrate on here getting this framework stripped. The time's getting on now.
Yeah.
We need to split into two teams.
Right.
Right, come on.
Right.
Yeah, no worries, bro.
Meanwhile, back with the beach bums, work has come to a grinding halt. They've welded the build area's engine hoist within the front frame of their airboat.
Yeah, it's a deliberate mistake of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, it's classic.
It's certainly not part of their lightweight design.
Isn't it?
That is a classic. How are you going to get it out?
So after the earlier problems with their hull, the digger's build area is beginning to step up a gear.
All right, that's all that wiring back together.
While their opponents, the beach bums, have stalled. Can the diggers now dig deep and catch up with those chilled-out surfers from Devon?
Devonshire surfer dudes, the beach bums, and expert Jeremy Harris are building a revolutionary catamaran design using a fully intact microlight engine and prop.
Make sure we don't make the same mistake with this.
After a successful scavenge, they've stalled. A lack of concentration has caused them to weld their front frame around the build area's engine hoist.
Do you know how to get it out?
Darren Brown can.
So now all their attention is on setting it free.
Yay!